Metal Gear Solid 3: Snake Eater is a monumental achievement in gaming, a title that faced immense pressure as the second Metal Gear Solid game on the PlayStation 2. Unlike its predecessors, it couldn't rely on cutting-edge hardware to dazzle players. It had to innovate through gameplay, storytelling, and a bold new setting, and it delivered in spades. Released in 2004, Snake Eater remains a timeless masterpiece, blending stealth, action, and a narrative that flips everything you thought you knew about the Metal Gear saga. Its jungle setting, survival mechanics, and emotional depth make it a standout, often hailed as the series' pinnacle. Today we're diving deep into Metal Gear Solid 3, exploring its story, gameplay, development, and legacy, including its spin-offs. If you haven't seen my previous videos on Metal Gear Solid 4 and 5, I recommend checking them out for context on how the series evolved. Fair warning, spoilers ahead, so if you haven't played Snake Eater, proceed with caution. Let's jump into the jungle and uncover why this game is legendary. After Metal Gear Solid 2's polarizing reception, Hideo Kojima planned to step back from the series, a recurring theme with each entry. Development on Snake Eater began without him, but the team struggled to capture his vision, pulling him back as director. Kojima had been busy producing titles like Boktai for the Game Boy Advance and Zone of the Enders, both involving Metal Gear alumni like Shigenobu Okamura and Yoji Shinkawa. New team members like writer Shuyu Murata from Zone of the Enders joined veterans such as Tomokazu Fukushima and Motosada Mori, expanding the creative pool. Unlike previous entries, which leveraged new console generations for visual leaps, Snake Eater was stuck on the PlayStation 2, forcing the team to innovate through gameplay and setting. Kojima's solution was a drastic shift. Instead of sterile labs or urban sprawls, Snake Eater plunged players into a lush, interactive jungle. This wasn't just a backdrop, it was a character, demanding new mechanics like camouflage and survival. Kojima aimed to make players feel like they were Naked Snake, the protagonist, without alienating them by overemphasizing his personality. The game's bosses, designed around single-word emotions like pain or fear, were initially envisioned as monstrous, but refined by Shinkawa for a more grounded, human touch. It released on November 17, 2004 in North America, with later releases in Japan, Europe, and Australia. Snake Eater was followed by a subsistence edition in 2005, adding a free roaming camera, MSX versions of the original Metal Gear games, and Metal Gear Online. This version, remastered in the HD and Master collections, remains the definitive way to play. The team built a new engine to render the jungle's uneven terrain and climbable trees, prioritizing realism and immersion over graphical flash. And how do you think the jungle setting changed the Metal Gear formula? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Set in 1964, Snake Eater is a prequel, taking us back to the Cold War and the origins of Big Boss, the genetic father of Solid Snake. The game opens with a gripping sequence. Naked Snake, codename for his minimal equipment, prepares for the world's first Halo jump into Soviet territory. A flashback reveals the virtuous mission where Snake's Fox unit aims to extract Soviet rocket scientist Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov from Tselinoyarsk. Sokolov, responsible for the Soviet space program, seeks asylum in the West, but the Cuban Missile Crisis complicates his defection. The US traded him back to the Soviets, and now he's forced to develop a secret weapon, the Shagohod, a nuclear-armed tank. Snake's mission is to rescue him before the weapon's field test. The story kicks off with Snake infiltrating the jungle, guided by Major Zero, initially codenamed Major Tom, a nod to The Great Escape, and Paramedic, who offers survival tips. The boss, Snake's mentor and a legendary soldier, provides mission advice. Her absence from Snake's life for 5 years, adding emotional weight. Snake navigates the jungle, encounters the Ocelot unit led by a young, brash Ocelot, and reaches Sokolov, only to face a devastating betrayal. The boss defects to the Soviet Union, aligning with Colonel Volgin, a GRU extremist plotting to overthrow Khrushchev with the Shagohod. She hands Sokolov over and Volgin launches a nuke, framing the US Snake is beaten and thrown into a ravine, clutching the boss's bandana as he falls. 1 week later, Operation Snake Eater begins. Snake must rescue Sokolov, destroy the Shagohod, eliminate Volgin, and kill the boss to clear Fox's name and avert nuclear war. Aided by EVA, a mysterious NSA defector posing as Volgin's lover, Snake learns of the philosopher's legacy, a massive fortune funding Volgin's plans. The narrative weaves a complex tale of loyalty, betrayal, and perspective with the Cobra unit, pain, fear, and sorrow and fury serving as emotional foils. The climax reveals the boss's true mission, a staged defection to secure the legacy for the US, sacrificing her life and reputation. Snake, now Big Boss, grapples with her sacrifice, setting the stage for his own tragic arc. The boss's betrayal is a gut punch. What's the most shocking plot twist you've experienced in a game? Share in the comments. Snake Eater redefines stealth with survival mechanics that make the jungle a living, breathing challenge. Unlike the radar-heavy gameplay of Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2, the Soliton radar is replaced with battery-powered tools like the AP sensor and motion detector, forcing players to rely on environmental cues. The camouflage system is a game changer, with outfits and face paints adjusting a camo index to blend into surroundings. Crawling in grass or hiding against rocks makes you nearly invisible. This system rewards observation and strategy, making stealth feel organic. Stamina and health mechanics add depth. Snake's stamina depletes from exertion, affecting aim, grip, and health regeneration. Players must hunt wildlife, snakes, frogs, or alligators for food, each with varying stamina recovery. Snake's comments on their taste add personality, but spoiled food can cause poisoning, requiring antidotes. Injuries like gunshot wounds demand specific treatments, for example, removing bullets, disinfecting, bandaging, making combat costly, and encouraging stealth. Close quarters combat, CQC, allows non-lethal takedowns, while the arsenal, including silenced pistols and sniper rifles, offers flexibility. The jungle itself is a sandbox with climbable trees, dense brush, and interactive elements like hornet nests. Unlike the linear corridors of prior games, Snake Eater's open areas allow creative approaches. Sneak through tall grass, distract guards with knocked over objects, or use the environment to your advantage. The Subsistence Edition's free roaming camera enhances immersion, fixing the original's clunky fixed perspectives. These mechanics make every decision feel impactful, cementing Snake Eater as a stealth simulator. The Cobra unit battles are among the series' best, each tied to an emotion reflecting Snake's journey. The Pain, who controls Hornets, forces players to navigate a waterlogged arena while dodging insect swarms. The Fear, a spider-like assassin, uses poison darts and traps countered with thermal goggles. The End's sniper duel is legendary, spanning multiple areas with options to snipe, sneak, or even wait a week in real time for him to die of old age. A brilliant Kojima touch. The Sorrow's battle is a haunting walk through a river, facing the ghosts of enemies you've killed, emphasizing the moral weight of violence. The Fury, a flamethrower-wielding astronaut, creates a fiery gauntlet, while the boss's final duel in a field of white flowers is both tactical and emotional, blending CQC and cover-based shooting. Each fight offers multiple approaches, lethal or non-lethal, with unique camouflages as rewards for stamina depletion. The End's battle, with its sprawling map and strategic depth, is a high point, while the Sorrow's encounter redefines what a boss fight can be. These battles aren't just challenges, they're narrative milestones, reflecting Snake's emotional descent as he confronts his mentor's legacy. Which Cobra unit boss fight is your favorite? Tell us your strategy and why it stands out in the comments. Snake Eater's central theme, defined by Kojima as scene, explores how perspective shapes truth. The boss's defection, initially seen as betrayal, is revealed as a heroic sacrifice, reframing her as a patriot. This mirrors Snake's arc as he evolves from a loyal soldier to Big Boss, questioning duty and loyalty. The Cobra unit's emotions, pain, fear, sorrow, fury, symbolize Snake's inner turmoil, with each defeat marking his shedding of these feelings, foreshadowing his transformation into a hardened legend. The game also ties into the series' broader themes of Gene, destiny via Big Boss's legacy, and Meme, passing on ideals, as the boss does to Snake. Symbolism abounds, from the endless ladder climb, possibly representing Snake's ascent to Big Boss or a moment of reflection, to the white flowers turning red after the boss's death, symbolizing sacrifice. Ocelot, revealed as the boss's son, ties into the philosopher's legacy, hinting at his future role. The game's slow burn narrative, unlike Metal Gear Solid 2's shock-heavy ending, weaves its themes consistently, making every cutscene and battle resonate. Now let's talk about the spin-offs. Metal Gear Acid and Portable Ops. Developed for the PSP, Metal Gear Acid was a bold experiment, trading stealth action for a turn-based card battling system. Directed by Shinta Nojiri, it retained Metal Gear's stealth core, crawling, vents, suppressed weapons, but randomized actions via cards for movement, attacks, or equipment. While innovative, the clunky system and lack of player control frustrated some, including myself. The story, a non-canonical tale of a kidnapped senator and a Metal Gear project called Pythagoras, leaned into bizarre psychic elements, lacking the mainline series' grounded realism. Acid 2 improved with cel-shaded visuals, a faster pace, and card upgrades, but its simpler story disappointed. Both games were ambitious but divisive, appealing to card game fans but alienating traditional Metal Gear players. Portable Ops, directed by Masahiro Yamamoto, aimed to be a canonical sequel to Snake Eater. Set 6 years later, Big Boss, having left Fox, is captured by a rogue unit seeking the Philosopher's legacy. Teaming with Roy Campbell, he builds a mercenary army to stop a new Metal Gear, Raxa. The game's comrade system, allowing players to recruit and manage soldiers for missions or support roles. For example, Intel Tech Development was a precursor to Metal Gear Solid V's base management. While its PSP controls felt dated, the game blended stealth with strategic depth, offering replayable stages in South America. Its canonicity is debated, Kojima's later games ignore it, but it's a worthy spin-off, bridging Snake Eater and Metal Gear Solid 4. Did you play Acid or Portable Ops? What did you think of these spin-offs? Share your experiences in the comments. Metal Gear Solid. 3. Snake Eater is a triumph of game design, balancing innovation with the series' core identity, its jungle setting and survival mechanics, camouflage, stamina, wound treatment, create an immersive stealth sandbox where every choice matters. The story, a slow burn tragedy of loyalty and sacrifice, redefines Big Boss and introduces unforgettable characters like the boss in Zero. The Cobra unit battles, from the End's sniper duel to the Sorrow's ghostly march, are iconic, blending gameplay and narrative seamlessly. While not my personal favorite, lacking the raw commentary of Metal Gear Solid 2, it's arguably the series' technical peak, feeling as fresh today as in 2004. The spin-offs, Acid and Portable Ops, show the series' willingness to experiment, even if they don't match Snake Eater's brilliance. Portable Ops' comrade system laid groundwork for future entries, while Acid's card-based approach was a daring, if flawed, departure. Snake Eater's legacy endures in its influence on stealth games and its emotional resonance, with the boss's sacrifice echoing through the series. As Kojima was pulled back to direct Metal Gear Solid 4, Snake Eater set a high bar, proving the series could evolve without losing its soul. Is Snake Eater your favorite Metal Gear game, or does another entry take the crown? Share your ranking and why in the comments. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.